So welcome to the next Satsang and Guided Meditation. We are just the four of us, so all the others have apologized and said that they're going to miss us today. So let's just do a quick check-in, and we'll start with Nikki.
I have had a really nasty pain week, so I you kind of just recoil when you're in pain, and the rest of the world kind of gets blurred out. So that's been my week. I've just been recoiled.
Yeah.
Feeling a bit better today though, so whole time's at last.
Sorry to hear that, but yeah, sure. Okay, Barbara.
Yeah, I've had a good week. On balance, busy week, a few things, a lot of challenges still going on with the house, but at the end of the week, at the end of the month, my tenants move in there, and then it's done and over with, and then I can start focusing on myself a little bit more, and that's what I intend to do. So I'm just sort of holding out till the end of the month. But I also know what it's like to be in pain, because I've also had a lot of pain, stomach pain and that sort of thing, and it can really, it wears you down, and you do become very disconnected and more involved with your pain than you are with your spirit.
Yeah, you do. It becomes the entire focus.
Yeah. Anyway, that's been me. Yeah.
Welcome. Maria.
Yeah, very very much like both Nikki and Barbara. Pain levels, they have been a little bit better than the previous week. The previous week was just unbearable. So what Nikki was describing is the recoiling. I feel like I'm just dealing with the kind of reverberations of that recoiling from last week. So it's starting to ease up, and just happened to be an exceptionally busy week. Every possible unexpected thing, work-wise, personal admin, just a couple of times made me feel quite overwhelmed this week. And when I was talking to you the other night, just when you were saying September is that kind of a month, just like welcome to the world, and like no preparation, just hit the ground running. That's how I feel, and I sort of feel a little bit dizzy from it. But yeah, I'm glad to have my Sunday morning to just just yeah, so that's me.
Yes, welcome. Totally understand. Yes. So just when I moved here, I saw 3 healers, and they said they were describing to me how quiet it was, and I said, "Oh damn, I didn't come here for quiet." But the Beryl told me, "You gotta be so busy. You better recharge yourself in the first week, because and it is, yes, like I haven't been this busy in I guess a year. I'm fully booked for today. Sunday I had my first client, and then Monday I had a client, and then she referred a client on Tuesday, and now Tuesday I had 2 clients. Then I had 2 marketing days, and then Friday I had 2 clients, Saturday I had a client, and today I've got 3 clients, Monday a client, and then Wednesday a client. It's like, oh wow, okay, awesome, and I love it. It's like I was telling somebody yesterday. It's like we usually, if I don't see people, I get despondent, and I get tired, and then I'm so exhausted from doing nothing. But seeing clients, it just energizes me, and seeing the positive response, and it's awesome. So I'm very grateful. So none of my concerns, a little bit concerns that came up before, has got any validation. So it's yeah, no, I'm in a very good space, and very grateful to be able to participate in people's lives and help them. And the response after chakra balancing is like, oh yes, that's what I want to hear. So it's nice to make people feel good. Especially, I have a couple of pregnant ladies that I'm working with. So I'm working with 2 souls at a time, and it's just so beautiful to give that little babakis some calming energies compared to what the mothers tend to go through. So to participate in that is just awesome. Yeah. So that's me checked in. Okay, so yesterday I was connecting with Spirit, and I thought, no, we must have a variety of cards that we could draw, because I have a few favorites and I tend to stick with them. So we haven't drawn the Spirit messages from John Holland in a while. And yeah, the card that I drew when I connected with our group, and that's for us, is relationships. And the card says, relationships are just a mirror image of your own life, how you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. It continues in the book and says, we bring you this card for we feel that you may be questioning a certain relationship in your life. This card also signifies that it may be time to evaluate and appreciate the relationships you have now, or those from the past, good or bad. Even a difficult relationship can be a surprising spiritual catalyst for you. All relationships, whether they on an emotional, physical, mental, or spiritual level, are part of the learning process and enlightenment of the soul. No matter what category a relationship falls into. In fact, as a teaching tool for the lessons your soul needs to learn. It can help you understand, change, and enhance your individual qualities. Ask yourself, if it was in the past, what did I learn from that relationship? Or if it's a current relationship, ask yourself, what am I learning from this relationship? Different types of relationships have an uncanny way of identifying which aspects of your life needs attention. At times, they reveal your vulnerabilities and insecurities and your need for attention, approval, or acceptance. Let this card be the catalyst to either heal a current relationship or attract more positive relationships in the future. So for me, it has been, since I've moved in, the past relationship thought has come up, and yeah, there's just been sort of flashbacks, or it's been in my mind to try and still figure things out. We don't always see all the lessons. We see some of them. We think we do. But it's a process of the other bodies as well. So there's just been some awareness, but not necessarily, I can say, yeah, I guess it's nice when you have a sounding board, when you can talk things out with people, because when you talk and you express certain things, other things come out than when you're just in your head. And your head is limited. You, I guess it's say one-dimensional or two-dimensional, but when you, maybe it's good to write about it. Although I did so many times, I guess I can do it again. Yeah, so I can understand this card. I know with the planets retrograding at the moment, it says that we review stuff and we just have it goes back. We go back and we look and we review and we check. So yeah, What does the relationship card message means to you and where you are currently? Yes, Barbara.
It actually did resonate with me, that because although I'm not having any problem with close relationships and friendships and partner or any of that kind of problem with challenges regarding this house and people trying to bully me, basically. So I have a sense that I need to start honoring myself a little better and standing up for myself. And when things are not done to my satisfaction, I'm going to say so. So I don't know whether that's good or bad, but that's a decision I've reached. That relationship, that type of relationship is not doing me any good at the moment. So, yeah, so I'm glad relationships came up. And then, of course, also every relationship, if you look back on it, teaches you something. And I'm usually aware of what I'm being taught. It's just sort of, like I know self-honoring is what I'm being taught at the moment with all of this. I just need to get there and deal with it a bit stronger. You know, because men generally think that women are pushover. But, you know, but Kate is not a pushover and it's her money. And I'm not spending it on stuff that isn't any good. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel quite responsible, you know, to protect her as well as not allowing myself to get pushed around.
Yes.
So that's what I've got from it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Anybody else would like to add anything?
Yeah, I absolutely connect with that card. Amazing, because I went for a walk last night. I'm trying to walk every night just to the end of the road and back. It's a short 5-minute walk, just to strengthen up. And while I was walking, I just said to my guides, okay, I need some help here. So while I'm walking, just clear the cobwebs, and then I'm going home to meditate and then sleep. Please speak to me about relationships. So it is a specific relationship, and I've asked specific questions. So it's, for me, absolute confirmation that this card has come up. So thank you for sharing that. If you could take a photo of it after our session and send it, that would be great. Thank you. And then I can carry on meditating on this. Thanks, me.
Okay. Thank you. Alrighty, so we're starting with the new book because we finished the other one. And the next book that I'm passionate about is The Great Human Potential. And it's walking in one's own light. It's teachings from the Pleiades and the Hathors. And the authors are Kenyon and Wendy Kennedy. So I'm just going to read extracts from this from time to time. But when you want to add something, just put your hand up, and because it's supposed to be interactive and sharing what you resonate with and not resonate with. The grander story of us, our abilities, where we come from, is so vast. It's so big. And each one brings through different puzzle pieces and information for us. Some might resonate with you, some might not resonate with you, but take what does. Just have it as an informative sharing session, and then also responding. So we start with the introduction, and it's from the 9th Dimensional Pleiadian Collective. Greetings, dears. This is the 9th Dimensional Pleiadian Collective, and it is a pleasure that we honor and an honor to have this opportunity to connect with you. No matter when you are reading this, each and every time you think of us, we stand beside you. Tell us we are always with you, for It is always the next now moment. We will let you think about that for a bit. Perhaps it will make more sense for you as we share our perspective of time with you later. What we present to you here is simply a version of the truth. It is not the only truth, for there are infinite versions. The truth is always colored by perspective, that of the one telling the story and by those listening. But what we offer you is a stepping stone to your greatest truth. Take the bits and pieces that resonate with you and leave the rest behind. You may be surprised if you read through this book several times, and there may be whole sections you missed or couldn't comprehend, and upon reading them you had a newfound understanding. As your vibration changes, so will your perspective. We are very excited to see what you create for yourself. For this is the time of greatest potentials on your planet. Each and every one of you has an amazing amount of support available to you, both in your world and beyond the veil. Use it. Call upon us. Know we always answer, even if you cannot hear us. Move out of your head and into your heart, for it is there that we can be heard. So and that's what I like about when I do the light body activations, because I activate especially the heart chakra, bring all the chakras together in the heart chakra, because it's a heart chakra that we need to operate from. It's a heart chakra that we need to work from. This is our most important chakra. There's been a lot of focus sort of on the mind area and developing the mind and intellect, and you have to have this and this. But what's actually more important is to have the heart. Not necessarily the head, but to have the heart and operate from the heart. And you do understand the now moment.
I read a book called The Law of One. Well, it was by a channeling. It was the entity was called The Law of One, and they talk about dancing through a continuous now moment. And that really resonated with me, because that's what it is. Our lives are just a continuous now moment. It never, ever becomes anything else other than that. So
yes.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful way of putting it. Yes. Okay. So the first thing that they are sharing is the stellar history, wisdom, and potential. So let us begin by saying that through us, other beings are participating in the channeling, and we are very happy to share their perspectives and wisdoms about the star system. To process the information that you are about to read or listen to, you must be in your heart center, since the heart center doesn't have any of the distortions nor the beliefs that the mind had about your true history. Realize the history that you have been given, what was sold to you, was not the true history. As many of you know, for this grand experiment called Planet Earth, your DNA was altered. We, from the 9th dimensional Pleiadian collective, would like to give you a brief perspective on what it was all about and how it has brought you here to this point in time, allowing you to understand the past so that you can move towards your highest potential. But first, we want to be honest. We do have a different perspective than what the White Brotherhood, with which many of your ascended masters align, about how to interact with you at this time. That doesn't mean that ours is right or wrong. It's just different. The White Brotherhood and the Ascended Masters wish to work with you amongst the construct of a dimension within the illusion. We choose to be here and tell you about your galactic history, the illusion and the game that is being played, and how to move beyond it. We think that you are ready for a new story, another version of the truth. The White Brotherhood thinks that for some of you, it will create too much of a shock. So the information is released at a slower pace. Both perspectives serve you well. Everyone needs to work in a unique way at their own pace. Some will align with what we are giving, others with the White Brotherhood. And many of you who are reading this understand both perspectives. Having different perspectives gives you a bigger picture and enables you to see the different aspects of the experiences. Now, any information that you are receiving regardless of the source, be it angelic guide, an ascended master, or from us, take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Every being that you encounter will have an agenda. We have an agenda to support you, but also we are here to learn from you. We want to assist you in bringing in light and information. At the end of the day, you are your best authority. You always have the best answers for yourself. The information that we give you in this book is what we consider the most appropriate vibrational match for where you are right now. For some of you, it will not resonate as much as for others. When we give you information, we always look at the vibrational level of the majority of whom we think will be listening or reading this in order to give you the version of the truth that will best serve you in ascending yourself to your highest potentials. In reality, there are infinite versions of the truth, and your vibration determines which version you experience. Another way for us to say that would be that you are constantly moving from now moment to now moment, stringing them together to experience different timelines. From time to time, we will say, take a deep breath. This small pause is there because we know that some of the information can be difficult for you to process. One of the ways you can cope with difficult information or information that does not support the illusion of your reality is to leave your body. Out you go. Your breath helps you ground and connect again so that you can assimilate the information. Earth and the Grand Experiment. Long ago, higher dimensional beings said, wouldn't it be fun to enter into density, forget who we are, and try to get out of it? Wouldn't it be an interesting game? So you all decided to do it. You were the ones that came up with the idea. And you are the very ones that are playing it out here on earth. So you are the ones that came up with the idea. And you are the very ones that are playing it out here on earth. There are 2 previous planetary experiments in the galaxy that tried to undergo the game of integration. They weren't successful in achieving it, but we did learn a great deal from them. When Earth was deemed suitable as a new experiment, it was then deposited with the genetic material from thousands and thousands of worlds, along with the genetic material that was all the emotional coding and the experiences of these planets and species. We call Earth the planet of emotions, and it is unlike any other planet in the entire universe because your range of emotions is so vast. You have extreme highs and lows and everything in between. And what is interesting is when I connected with the guy Pierre, who between 2004 and 2008, when he analyzed my dreams, when he connected to my granny, who is my ancestral guide, the first thing that she told me was, sort of, you alien to this world, you don't usually incarnate here. And that was now a long time ago. It's before I read anything and before I heard anything. And I thought, I could never tell people that because it's like, but she said it's because of the emotions. And she said, I came here to put my emotional body to full blast. So where others will go through an experience and for them it will feel like a pinprick, for me it feels like an amputation. It's just to the degrees that one feels. But we sometimes don't realize why on earth did we make our emotional range so vast. But it is as we develop and we grow, we have a more vast emotional capacity. And sometimes I think people mistake it with bipolar. It's not always bipolar. We do have highs and lows, but that is what we are capable of experiencing, and we need to go and experience all of them. Our life lessons and experiences is all about going through that and participating in it. And different people come with a different range, and there's no judgment, there's no better than or lesser than. It is just what it is. But it's not to fight it. It's not to say, although you have this range, the acceptable ones is just this one, and if you're in this one, then you get accepted by people, and if you go out of it, then what's wrong with you? Why do you go there? But it's all part of the plan. And again, many times I've heard that the earth is sort of like a soup pot of all the various ones and planets and planes of existence on the outside. They're all together here. And it's like what happens in the microcosm happens in the macrocosm. What happens here affects there. The Star Wars that's out there is real. And you take all those people that fight with one another from different planets and you put them on the same planet. They're not going to get along well, okay? And that's why there were so many wars. But if we can get back to peace, the peace that we create here, even if it's just for ourselves, it does have effect there, because what happens here affects there, and what happens there affects here. So all eyes is in here. It's like, okay, so we put all that together, what is going to happen? And it's like those memes that Vanessa mentioned it last time or whatever, of the aliens, I can't remember, aliens looking at, we tuned to planet Earth because it's story 2020, and it's an interesting viewpoint, I guess, from that side to look at us and see what we get up to. But the change that we can make and becoming awake and aware of who we really are, that's the exciting thing. That is what we've been working towards for so many lifetimes. Like, okay, next I'm going to wake up. Next time we're going to get this. And that's why we've been repeating certain things so that we can get there. And blessed are the ones that acknowledge that there's more to it than just what we can see and perceive sometimes. So, yeah. In other sectors of the galaxy, the emotional range is not as varied. This is a part of why the 2 previous experiments did not go well. When you lack emotional range, you have a far more focused existence. It means that you're flexible. Your ability is to pull in new ideas, new inspirations, and to be creative is somewhat limited. A focused existence does give you the opportunity to examine and explore reality in detail. But when it comes to the game of polarity, integration, a wide variety of emotions and potential obligations allow for a higher possibility of success. This process of integration includes, above all, letting go of judgments. That's a big thing. And especially sometimes when I speak to clients, no, don't judge. But if you listen to the story, you'll hear judgment, 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 judgments about the judgments, and judging self and judging others, and we do. It's a natural thing. It's like it happens, and so through my process, it's like reflecting. I can say, what was my role in it? So because everything is mirror, so it's to see. I can say, what was that mirror? So if this person is showing me this, where am I like that? How can that be a mirror? Or if it's not, is that why it was taken away? It's like now it's their stuff. Yeah, so it's interesting. So yeah, letting go of judgments is the big thing, and it's something that we can continually practice and do and do and do. It is the ability to see light and dark as an illusion, since both are part of source energy. You are once again unidentifying your perspective with light and dark to a complete, whole, and divine state. Earth itself is a living, ever-growing library complete with records of all the experiences of all consciousness on it. You have access to this library. Contrary to what you might feel, it is actually much, much easier for you to achieve integration on Earth, since you have access to such a vast pool of genetic records and experiences. Again, remember, these experiences are not only for the beings and life forms that have lived on the planet, but also from the thousands of species who contributed their DNA to your world. There are 5 seed races who donated their genetic material to create you, a modern human. We are talking about the felines, the reptilians, humanoids, the avians, the bird people, and high dimensional beings of light from Lyra. This material was given so that could have easier access to their records, giving you the greatest chance of succeeding in integration. So they repeat integration lots. because we go through experience and then we have to integrate. We learn something and then we have to integrate. It's all about the integration. And it's in that integration part that our bodies sometimes have resistance because you either can't stomach what has happened, or it still affects you. But when everything is integrated, there comes peace in the body again. But it means that you integrate the whole you, because of the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And sometimes one gets it, but the others don't. And it's to integrate that wisdom from the spiritual realm to the physical body. Else, it will still be dis-ease in the body. Each of the 5 races has had a diverse and extensive histories whose records give you knowledge and the wisdom to pull from as you attempt integration. From their experiences, you can access information to glean insight into what may have helped or hindered the process of integration. It is important for you to know this because this is the basic premise of your game. As you're going through this process of ascension and increasing your vibrational rate, you are also completing a 26,000-year cycle. It is no coincidence that the two coincide. With the completion of the 26,000-year cycle, that was on the 21st of December 2012, that the cycle has ended. So we specifically year over this period because we wanted this growth period. We wanted to end cycles. The old souls in us has come to end certain cycles. So it's and to integrate all that has been learned over that period. And also to start the new, because we are this creator beings that like to create new. So it's, and we're not even still scratching the surface of what is possible for us. Yeah. You are integrating everything that you have learned during this period. Think of a cycle like running a track with a start and finish line. The start-finish line is denoted in the galaxy by a band of extremely high-frequency energy. We call it the photonic band and is composed of photons of light particles. These high vibrational particles of light assist and support you in elevating your frequency. Rather than remaining at the same track, going around and around in circles, you actually spiral up in a completion of each cycle. As you near the end of the cycle, you are able to access once more everything that you've learned and then integrate it, moving on to the next. We began entering into the field of high vibrational light at the late 1980s and continue to move through it today. Most of humanity simply experiences this as a life going faster and getting more hectic as these issues are more intensely reflected so that they can clearly see where judgment needs to be released. Take a few moments here to feel if the information we have shared has triggered any issues, such as manipulation, control, or abandonment. You may also find that you have activated some level of homesickness. If it is the case, just take a nice deep breath. Remember always to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. It is our version of history that we are sharing with you because we see that you are requesting it energetically. And we want you to move forward. Our purpose is to support you. Don't forget. The version of the story may change as you change, grow and expand. Anybody would like to share anything while I was reading that has come up for you? Yeah, Maria?
I just think it's fascinating that the years that they highlighted there were major years for me, major. As you were describing all of this, as you were reading, I was just thinking, oh my word, because that all makes sense. And I like big picture. This just makes me feel so much more normal and understandable. I just can go, okay, so there is a place and a purpose for me and for each person in the now, in my now experience, to be here. And in these periods of integration, I can tell you where those have been following those key years that you were describing in there. I just think this is amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Big wow for me. Very relevant. Thank you.
Yes, Barbara.
Yeah, the thing that resonated most with me was about judgment. Because we do, I think, I do anyway, all the time, you know, I judge myself.
Yeah.
Every time I don't feel good enough, I'm judging myself for whatever reason, good enough. Every time somebody does something that I don't approve of, and but it doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you happy at all. And I really wish that I could drop this whole judgment thing and of self more than of other people, funny enough, because it really is more about judging myself. But I have such sort of high standards. I think I must drop the standards a bit and just accept myself the way I am, you know, and don't feel bad because I can't do certain things, because it's just the way it is. Yeah, so judgment was the thing that stood out for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a perfect theme for our meditation today, is to release all the judgments, I guess, because, and if I have to tie it in with the card, the relationship card, and then this that we've read, it's like, it's also the judgments that we've made against the relationships that are in our life or has been in our life, the judgments that we've made against them, but mostly the judgments that we've taken on upon ourselves, judging ourselves as either not good enough or not worthy or not pretty enough, or, I mean, various relationships leaves a variety of emotions and feelings towards self. And what of that is true, or what of that has been the illusions that we carried about ourselves. And it's like, so new experiences come into your life to show you what is still there, because if it's a mirror, it's okay, so what if that is still within me? What of that am I still carrying? Yeah, so we're going to use this as a reflective time in our meditation to see what can we let go of, so that we can integrate the truth of who we are, what we are, and not the lies that we've adopted within ourselves, and accept that to be the truth. Other person's thoughts about us. When I work with people, I say, okay, so whatever that person has said, boom, 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 to you, about you, for you, the judgment that is made, if you turn all that around, that is what actually applies to them. It's to look at what you say, the judgments that you have, because that is a reflection of you. So it is to use that time to say, okay, so when I say this, where does it reflect back in me? What is it that I need to drop the judgment of? And the biggest focus in self. It's the only thing that we can change. Other people are supposed to be mirrors of whatever that you are mirroring things for other people, and they might either like it or not like it, depending on where they are in their life. So yeah, are you ready for meditation? Welcome to today's meditation. Breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. With each in-breath, taking in the consciousness that's available to you now. And with each out-breath, release all that no longer serves you, in order for you to becoming lighter and lighter, shining brighter and brighter. And just allow the tone, the vibrations, frequency to go in, through, and around your body as you just relax. And I want you to take 3 slow, deep breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Expand your lower abdomen as you breathe in. And contract your lower abdomen as you breathe out. Becoming more and more relaxed, more and more at ease, more and more at peace. Totally surrender and release in this moment in time. Drop into peace and tranquility within yourself. I want you now to visualize yourself stepping into the most beautiful garden, your sacred space. With lush green grass, tall majestic trees, birds, butterflies, and water. I want you to find a space within your garden by tall, majestic trees to go and sit at as you look over the water. And the beautiful landscape that is in front of you. And become aware of the wind blowing through these trees, rustling the leaves, bringing you messages from above. Talking, singing and dancing around you. Become aware of the energy of the collective and being part of this unity consciousness of being connected to it all. In full awareness. And take another 3 slow, deep breaths. Calling in your highest teachers and guides to surround you now, to come and sit with you. And today we'll be gaining new insights around judgments, the judgments others had about us, the judgments we have about others, especially the judgments that we have about ourselves. Each time we've adopted a false belief or judgment about ourselves, asking that these now be revealed to us and for us to see the truth of it all. And through this processing, I want you to become aware of the judgment and then consciously let it go. Set it free, let it be. However you choose to let each judgment go, allow it to come up into your awareness through a memory, an image, a word, or a person that it's connected to, and start with the process of elimination, of clearing out one judgment after the other. Starting the process with the judgments others had of you. I want you now to see that that was said didn't apply to you. It fully applied to the other person. That is what they had to say about themselves, their beliefs of themselves. Allow yourself to integrate this higher level of awareness and introspection as you detach, release, let go of all those judgments. Now in your heart, just get to true forgiveness towards those ones. And let it go. Breathing in peace within your heart. Breathing in peace within your mind. And breathing in peace within your emotions. Now I want you to become aware of all the relationships where you have had judgments against others. The words and the judgments that you spoke, that you felt, that you thought, that you had, or still have. I want you now to truly observe each of those judgments and then turn it back on you and ask yourself, where are you perpetuating that reality? What has these relationships taught you? About yourself? If the guys are pointing one finger to another and three pointing back at you, I want you just to observe what you are actually judging within yourself. How it all applies to you. And then I want you to forgive yourself for thinking that way, acting that way, believing that way. Whether those judgments are still perpetuating in your life, I want you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for all the judgments that you have against yourself. Those judgments of not being good enough, not being worthy. Judgments about hoarding. Old emotional wounding. Judgments about giving up or wanting to give up. Judgments about not caring about your well-being. Whatever the judgments has been, just detach, release, and let go now. All these judgments, shed them as layers of layers from you. Release and let go, release and let go, release and let them all go. Taking back control of your own life and how you choose to perceive it. Looking upon you through the eyes of God with love, with acceptance. Feel a warm embrace from God and the angels and all the beings of light that surround you. For the difficult lessons that you've had to walk through and experience, all that you've chosen for yourself in this lifetime. All that you thought you're not, that you actually are, and all that you thought you are, that you are actually not. Integrating your wholeness, your completeness, your perfection as the magnificent puzzle piece of God that you are. Walking in this earth plane through lessons. Take back your courage, take back your power. Stand tall, stand strong, stand confident. And raising your vibrations, your frequency. By doing so, just in that total pure beingness of being your authentic self, without judgment nor condemnation, but pure acceptance and love. Become aware of the mantra that you are given for yourself to help with this integration. Breathing in peace within your heart. Breathing in peace within your mind. And breathing in peace within your emotions. Asking if there's anything else that you would like to ascertain about certain relationships within your life. Use this time now to connect and commune with the beings of light that is around you. About these core relationships that you might want more information about. What is it teaching you? Is it still serving you? Become aware of any place within the relationship that you need to strengthen your boundaries. What you'll accept and what you no longer accept. As you release any feeling of victimhood from yourself or others, and any blaming of others, of yourself, being blamed or blaming of others, just detach, release, and let go of those emotions now. And draw back into peace and acceptance. Come back to neutrality. Thank the team around you, holding space, holding the light. in order for you to see clearly your own patterns. Loving yourself regardless of those. Then gently come back into your body, into this now. And as you do, I want you to visualize the most beautiful rainbow bubble of light coming down the front of your body, the back of your body, the left side and the right side of your body, and gently tuck beneath your feet, 2 feet below you. I visualize the grounding cord, any color of your choosing, which take deep down into the earth. Wrap your grounding cord around the rose rainbow crystal. Feel those rainbow crystalline energies coming back up your grounding cord, revitalizing and re-energizing you. And the new version of you, supporting your new vibration, strengthening it. And from the top of this rainbow bubble of light, the rainbow cord going up to source, to God. Connecting with the heart of God, and feel the unconditional love pouring back to you in rainbow light. Into your rainbow bubble of light around you, connecting with your heart chakra. Feel the full acceptance and love from the two Father, Mother, God. Feel supported as above, so below. And then gently start rotating your hands, rotating your feet, stretching and making sure that you're properly back into your body. And when you are, you may open your eyes. Who would like to share what they've experienced in the meditation? Barbara.
It was so full of messages, this meditation. It had so much in it. I'm still trying to sort of unravel it all, you know what I mean? Messages were just kind of mainly judgment, obviously, but also about peace. And, but mainly the judgment was that judgment of myself comes from what I perceive other people's experiences. And if they're not, I think that I'm expected to be a certain way because I expect but I put it on them, if you know what I mean. It's what I actually put on myself, but I put it on them. And then it's very hard to explain. And then if I hear of somebody that's done something that I'm not doing, then I think, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing that. So that makes me less than them. And that whole mess, I wasn't able to just release it. So the message I got was that I must live with it, accept myself as I am, with all those problems, and by accepting, because that's
problems. Remember, it's just perceived problems. It's not really. We just think them to be.
All of that it's me. That's who I am. So if I can accept me, then I don't have a problem with not feeling good enough anymore. So it is in acceptance, you're actually releasing. if you know what I mean, by accepting. And then the other thing, of course, is this now moment. You know, I keep going on about in my mind, you know, in 2 weeks' time it'll be fine, the house will be built, and I will change, and I'll be happy again, and I'll have peace again. But my now moment is what I should be dealing with, not in 2 weeks' time. So that was another message that I got. Yeah.
Yes, because you keep on postponing. It's when that happens, then I can have peace. I can't have peace in this now moment. Yes, you can have peace in this now moment. And the next moment, you can dance that peace into every moment, and it can go straight through. It doesn't have to be delayed. It doesn't have to be transferred. It doesn't have to be postponed. It can be now. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, Barbara.
Lovely meditation. Thanks.
Thanks. Nikki, anything you would like to share?
What came through for me was about feeling the full range of emotions. It's something I wasn't raised to do. You don't get too emotional about things, either up or down, you know. And maybe because I've been on antidepressants for so many years, even more so, it's kind of squashed that range of emotions into this little band. And I have to firstly stop judging myself for taking antidepressants. They help with the pain. I've got to just keep reminding myself of that. And those emotions are still there. I need to just allow them. You know, they may still be a bit blurred by the drug, but they are there. So that was what my biggest judgment of myself was about, was not experiencing emotion more, not feeling or living more from heart instead of up here. So yeah, that's what came through for me, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Barbara?
Just one more thing. I went off antidepressants about 6 months. It was a difficult and stupid time to go off them, actually, just before the lockdown. But I'm
never a good time.
There it was, you know, just before the lockdown, I decided, no, I have to manage without these things. And I have, but I haven't been good. I haven't been good at all. And I was thinking of going back, pretty much made up my mind I was going to go back on them this week. But now that I've listened to Nikki, I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe I'll.
It's hard though, because the problem with, you know, the reason you're on antidepressant is often because you tend to feel the lower emotions all the time. And it's not nice living there. It's miserable living in that place all the time. So the antidepressants help you just elevate above that a bit, you know. Unfortunately, yes, it does take away the higher emotions too. But you know, until you've lived with depression, to live in that lower plane all the time is horrible. And you've only got one go at this. Just you know, why must you be in a miserable place? So I would never judge anyone for taking an antidepressant to not be living lower emotions all the time. It's one thing if you're living high emotion, down, up, you know, crazy. But if you're living down there all the time, it's horrible. It's not life.
Yeah,
you start
I've been down there, or, you know, I think it's for a whole lot of sort of reasons, you know.
Yeah.
My kids, my whole world has imploded a bit. And yeah, I know. So I don't know whether to go back on them or whether to just try and raise my vibrations and get to a higher level without them. I don't know.
I've been taking 5 HTP or something like that.
HTP,
Yeah, from Clicks. It's a natural herbal stuff, and it helps.
What's it called?
It's a hormone. It's a natural hormone.
Okay.
I'll send you the picture on WhatsApp. You get it at Clicks, but it helps, and it's all natural, and it's not addictive, and you can try it, and if not, then it's to listen to your body and give it what it needs.
Yeah.
ultimately, it's nice when you can get yourself to feeling better. And sometimes dramatic changes needs to happen for that to be there. But so it's like when I was in the plots, I felt lots depressed because everybody's just depressed there. So it's just very low vibrational frequency that's in. But yeah, and I had to take sleeping tablets. So apart from everything, I had to knock myself out with sleeping tablets. For the past week, I've slept without sleeping tablets. I can have peaceful night. There's not worry that this has got a total different vibration. So it's easier for me to cope and be in this and remain those at that level than in my previous environment.
Yeah.
In my previous environment, I haven't been able to. So that's why I say, depending on where you are, sometimes you can get yourself there, and sometimes you have a difficulty that you can't get yourself there.
Just find with depression, it's very fragile. You'll get yourself there, but it is so fragile that it just pops and you drop back down again, you know.
So only you
personal call going on to drugs, it's very, very difficult. It took me years to come to terms with doing it, and then I've been wanting off it ever since I've been on it. But I do know that there's a certain, it just helps me stay a little higher than I would otherwise.
Vanessa also tends to go on and off and on and off, but she says each time she thinks, oh no, now I'm okay, and then she goes off and I'm a week later she goes back on. And so she's tried okay, I don't need it anymore routine because she just, it helps. So you have to listen to you, and you know what's going on inside of you, you know your feelings, and you know what can help. So just listen to you.
I think the only reason I've never tried, I have tried to come off mine, but it's the withdrawals are awful. God, they're the worst feelings ever. So that's the only reason I'm still on mine. I think if I had been able to come off them easier, I would have on and off, on and on. It's only because they're so hard to come off that I'm still on them. So there's that as well.
Judging myself.
Don't judge self.
No, I don't.
Because I was judging myself for being on them and not being able to manage without them. Again, not good enough, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I might try this thing from clicks, otherwise I'm going back on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Maria.
Yeah, I am just picking up on that conversation now about the antidepressants. Also having being on them, I also tried for years without them, after being on them for a long time. And just from a pain perspective, like Nikki says, they make a difference to my pain levels. They help me manage better. And I am naturally, because of all the traumas, the physical, the emotional, the stuff that's happened, my body doesn't produce the hormones it's supposed to, with the pituitary tumor as well. And my doctor had just said, we're so quick to judge ourselves about antidepressants, but she said if you break a limb, you'll go to the hospital or go to the doctor and have the limb set and cast and reset and taken care of. If you get sick, you go and you get the medicine to clear the pneumonia or the bronchitis or whatever it is that you've got. And once she helped me to understand that my body is broken on that thing, I have a chronic health challenge, and to help my body, to be kind to my body, I need to help it. Like I use a walking stick to help my body. The antidepressant is the same thing. Like Nikki's saying, living in that low vibrational space all the time is hard. And I think there's nothing wrong with combining the protocols, working on daily, trying to work on increasing your vibrational levels through whatever, whether it's listening to music, being out in nature, going for a walk, all those things, do those habits, incorporate natural habits that are good for you, but at the same time get the support. So Barbara, I was very anti it, and the judgment, I'm like a queen of judging myself. I'm very good at it. And like Nikki said, I was brought up in a way to just emotions just were bad. Any emotion, whether you express good emotion or negative emotion, sort of high or low vibrational sort of levels, you just mustn't experience them. You mustn't feel them. You must just get on and do. So, it's taken 50 odd years to come to terms with that and accept and be kind and say, okay, so I was taught that by somebody who misprogrammed their own stuff because they were brought up with misprogramming from their people. and you just go, okay, there's a whole truckload of us that need to be forgiven, loved, be kind to, accept. And yeah, interesting that in my meditation, who sort of arrived were some family members from my dad's side who are still living and joined by my dad. So it was an interesting thing, and then some guides. So it was quite a interesting experience, and all individuals who I have huge respect for and huge natural good emotions towards, and hearing a lot of messages as well, as Bob's had experienced. So yeah, this meditation was really good for me too. So thank you. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not finished. Definitely got work to do this week on continuing that process. So I'll go back to that space that you helped us create today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
thank you
also
for letting me into the room. Sorry, my
Yeah,
phone
no problem.
died now. My battery died on my iPad.
Luckily, we've got multiple units and devices that we can come into. Yeah, mine was also a fascinating meditation because it's like I saw that the irritations that I've had with certain family members the last few months, I saw, okay, so what did that reflect back at me? And it's like, where does it fit in? And okay, yes, at times I'm also like that. And yes, at times I'm also like that. And it's usually the parts. So a thing that came to me was the part of you that irritates me or frustrates me or angers me, or where I become judgmental, that part of you, when I look at you, I choose to release it, transmute it, integrate it. You have to do something different about that energy because it's just a misperception. And remember, everything is about perspective. And sometimes we have certain right perceptions and sometimes we have misperceptions. But it's to that part that has this effect. It's just okay, I detach, release, and let go of that. So that it's there for a reason, but it's to say, okay, I acknowledge that I have it within myself and I let that judgment go. And then, so be it. But the one thing that was tricky was the one individual on the plot is a hoarder. And irritated 7 daylights out of me. And I thought, hoarder. I'm not a hoarder. I mean, I have to let my shit go. I have to sell my shit. I have to give my shit away. I have to work with my shit. And other people sit in their shit. It's like, and they accumulate it. How could they? But then I thought, yeah. I'm an emotional hoarder. I hoard all these memories and emotions and experiences that I've had, and still processing this. The last few months I was still processing my divorce. That happened in 2001. It's like 19 years on, it's like stuff still came up, and I thought, yeah, okay. Other people can't maybe see my emotional hoarding, but it's there. So I had to, again, it's like, because I thought, no, this doesn't apply to me, really. Well, okay, maybe it does. So I had to look at the various things and various aspects, and realize, okay. So it gave me a lot of higher understanding and wisdom, and a lot to think about. There was plenty messages in there. So, and I'm glad that this is recorded, because I also listen to this one again. It's a worthwhile exercise to do from time to time, because we can quickly accumulate the judgments. But anyway, so I thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for your participation and sharing of your messages. I wish you a wonderful, magical week, and see you soon. Okay, bye. Bye.